Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is crazy to say because I've always wanted to do YouTube, but I've always doubted myself, didn't know, I don't know, it's just crazy. I've always doubted myself and I didn't want to do it, but I thought, hey, you know what? I'm done with college. I have nothing to do. And so might as well. I mean, put some content out there. I don't know if I'm going to go along with it or what, but I have some ideas that I want to do. But today I will be telling you guys two different stories. One is they're both involving car accidents. One was when my family got into a really big accident, and then another accident that I witnessed that was also crazy, and it's a totally, oh my god. So basically, okay, anyways, so I was probably around 5 or 6. I'm 5 years older than my brother, and so I know that he was probably no more than 1, if that. So I was 5 or 6, and he was tiny, he was in his car seat, and I think my dad was driving. My mom was in the passenger seat. My brother was on the left side. My sister was in the middle. I was on the right side, or vice versa. I don't really know. But we were coming back from our family friend's house who lived about 20 minutes away. And we're on our way home. And I think we were turning left. We had a green light. And the lady driving towards us, I don't know if she ran a red light or what, but we're turning and then we get hit. We're in a Chevy Impala, which is a smaller car. I think it was burgundy. And the car flipped. Our car flipped 2 times. And we ended up upside down. And I remember my brother screaming, crying, my sister crying, my mom and dad constantly checking on us, seeing if we're okay. And for me, I just felt literally shook. I couldn't say anything. I remember I tried to cry. I don't know. I just, my sister was crying. I just didn't know how to react. So I was oh, my sister's crying, my brother's crying. This is what I have to do. I have to cry. And I just I was in my head, and I know this sounds so weird, but I was just oh my gosh, so shooken up. And I remember my note, but I couldn't physically cry for some reason. So I was just quiet, just observing everybody, making sure they're okay. I think that honestly, my brother and my sister crying kind of helped me, because I at least knew that they were okay, because my brother was secure in his car seat, and my sister, I was right next to her, so I was just looking at her, and she seemed okay. And I knew that nobody was hurt, and that was the main thing for me. And I knew that I was gonna be okay because I didn't feel any pain or anything like that. So I remember my nose was bleeding, but it wasn't coming out because we were upside down, and I just was super in shock. And then after a while the ambulance came, but there was a guy who I think our doors were jammed, or I don't know, and he helped us get out. He was on a skateboard, and he went on his back, and he helped us get out of it, and kind of helped us all. And then after that happened, I know that we went to court, or we took the car in because it got totaled, and everybody was fine. We ended up with a few like scrapes and bruises. I think I probably had the least damage. My brother had like a little bruise on his like neck or head, and then my mom had like bruises on her legs and like on her arms, and like we just got so lucky. And it's just crazy. Like it puts it into perspective, because like, you know, like you have this little baby, and like something could have happened, and like, you know, anything could have happened to one of us and our world would have been changed forever. But it's just crazy, you know, just to like count your blessings, because anything can happen in a blink of an eye, whether you have the green light or not. Just always be aware of your surroundings, because some people are like not paying attention and stuff. So I'm super grateful for that. And you know, we've been blessed. And I know that was a short story, but I just wanted to tell you about that crazy car accident story. And yeah. So, the next story I'm telling. Okay. So, 2 years ago, I was single. This was around April. And I lived in Louisiana at the time. I was in college, and it was towards the end of the semester. So, like everything was kind of settling down. I was done with soccer, and I was talking to someone who was like, you know, just come over here, and we'll go out with our friends and stuff. And like I had met all his friends, and like, you know, they were always fun. It was like okay, okay, okay. They were in the army, so like they're on the weekend, they're always looking for something to do. And like where they were at, it was like literally so boring. So the weekends they would come down to where like our city is, because like where we were in college, because obviously it's a college town. They would always just find like different college towns that were at least close enough. Like the closest thing to them is probably like an hour and a half away that's fun. So they're always looking for fun, and they had partied with like my friends a couple of times. So they were like, you know what, you come over here and like we'll party somewhere else. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I go over there. We have to drive like an hour 15, an hour and a half away to go to like the bar that we were going to, or like the club or whatever. And so we took two separate cars, because there was at least like, no, I think we took like three separate cars, because there was like at least 10 of us. And squatting up, I'm like the only girl there around all these freaking army dudes. And so we finally get there, and we're like having a good time. Like everybody's kind of doing their own thing, but also like checking on each other. I was with the guy that I was talking to, so like I was pretty occupied the whole time. And I remember that was the night that we kind of like, we were not barely kind of talking, but like a week and a half in, 2 weeks in. And we kind of just like said that like, you know, we're like all like lovey-dovey, saying our feelings for each other, like actually, you know, whatever. So finally it was time to go. And I think the bar had like closed, so we were like, all right, let's go back. And I think the other car had left already, or they were gonna get food or something like that. And so we're like, all right, like there was 2 people in one car, and then 5 of us in our car. And I was in the middle seat of the back, and then the dude that I was talking to was like to my right. And I remember like the other car, like we definitely had like a DD, but the other car didn't. And I didn't really know that at the time, because I was like pretty occupied, and like I wasn't paying attention to like them, because the driver that was driving the other car, I didn't really know him. I knew his name, But I knew the passenger pretty well, and he was my friend too. And so I was like in the middle seat, and like we're on our way, like we're there's probably like 2 lanes for the way we were going, and then there was like a grass divider, and then the other way, which was like 2 lanes. And then like we were in like the middle of nowhere kind of, and to the right there was just like field, and to the left there was like trees and stuff, like foresty, like Louisiana, like, and so like I remember being like in the middle of the middle seat, and just like facing this way, and just like like all like giggly, and like talking to like my dude, because we had just said our feelings for each other, and we're like, oh my god, I like you so much, blah blah blah. We're just like listening to music, and like I was just facing this way, and I just remember hearing like, excuse my language, but oh shit, and I like turn, and everybody was like, what happened, what's wrong, and the car in front of us, it was raining, I forgot to mention, but it was raining hard, and like in Louisiana, like it rains, it stops, like there's just no predicting the weather really, and the weather can't even predict the weather, if that makes sense. The car in front of us had hydroplane and went across the grass divider, across the cars that are going the opposite way, and goes into the forest. And I remember just freaking out. Like, I went into shock the way that I did in the actual car accident. I didn't say anything. And then we park, like we make like the U-turn, and like we park and like go into the field, and we didn't know what to do because they were in the army. They didn't want to get in trouble because the guy was driving. And I remember the guy that I was talking to was like, just stay in the car, like I don't know why, but I was like, I'm not gonna stay in the car, like that's my friend. And then I get out, and I'm sitting by the car because like I'm like nervous, and they're all handling it, and I just see like the driver, he was okay, like he had, I think maybe like a bloody nose, and my friend that was in the passenger seat, he was like holding his like chest or his arm, and he had like some blood coming from somewhere on his face, and I just like couldn't say anything, and I didn't want to get involved because I was like, like I'm just like this girl that this guy's talking to, and yeah, he's my friend or whatever, but I was just so like nervous for them because I was like, oh my god, like the cops are gonna come, like somebody's gonna call, like they're gonna see that we're like all intoxicated. Besides, like luckily we had our DD, but like like you guys are gonna get in trouble, I'm gonna get in trouble, like what's gonna happen? And like obviously I didn't want to sound like selfish because like but I was thinking about them because they were like hurt, and like their car just like hit a tree, or it was like this close to hitting it or whatever, and I just like didn't know what to do. So then they ended up trying to figure it out, and we were there for a while, and then one of the people in our car came back and was like, hey, like we're just gonna go, and they called somebody already to get them, like, well, we're gonna be okay, like they're fine, like whatever. So then we go back, and like I guess there was like this like famous like gas station that serves like really good like chicken or like whatever. So then like we stopped there, and like the whole time I'm thinking like this is really insensitive that we're at a gas station and we just kind of left them, and you just want your chicken, like I don't know. But they ended up being okay, luckily. I think oh yeah, they left their car there overnight, and they were like, fuck it, like we'll just let them, like the police discover it. Like I don't know if the car was like registered or not, or like if it was under somebody's mom's name or like whatever, but they both ended up being okay, I know that, which is like the most important thing. And then I don't think the car got totaled, but it like had some damage obviously to the front end, and yeah, that is my story. I know they're two kind of abrupt endings, but yeah, I ended up stop talking to the guy because I'm with my boyfriend. If that has anything, if that's interesting, but yeah, that was also scary. Like, that was like, I've never hydroplaned. Luckily, thank God, because Louisiana can get really bad. But it was just like so scary to experience because like, one, driving drunk is not worth it, and like I don't know if they were speeding or not, but like, you know, in that moment when you do hydroplane, you don't know what to do. So like, they ended up. I mean, thank God it was just like some minor like injuries, but they went across incoming traffic. Like, anything could have happened, and like I said, it was a blessing, but I don't know. But yeah, this is my channel. I don't know if what's gonna happen or what I'm gonna do, but I don't know, like, we can do like a get to know me, or a get ready with me, or more story times. And I don't know if I will continue with this, but basically I am posting my very first YouTube video, which were kind of dumb stories, but it's a story time, and it's a new face on YouTube, so that's kind of cool. And I hope you guys like this video, and if you guys want more juicy story times, let me know. I just kind of wanted to give like some basic 2 stories. I know this video is gonna be short, but yeah, this has been interesting to say the least. I am excited to post more. Hopefully I will definitely not have a YouTube schedule, but yeah, that's it. Please subscribe, like this video, comment. I don't know, like, what? All right, peace and blessings. Thank you guys for watching.